Been quite an interesting week over at Tesla, and there's a lot to talk about. We just had the earnings call, and Elon Musk did let out a lot of information, and there's a lot to unpack this week. I want to talk about the Cybertruck, I want to talk about the Model 3, I want to talk about affordability as a whole when it comes to Tesla. We actually have some information now about the next generation Tesla, or the Tesla Model 2, Tesla Model Q, whatever it'll end up being called. Plus, this week on Twitter, somebody did bring attention to some Model 3s on the used market directly from Tesla that are quite a steal of a value if you're in the market for a Tesla. If you've been watching affordability go out of control, it may be time that you have an opportunity to finally get into a Tesla. We've also got some updates on the Inflation Reduction Act for today as it pertains to Tesla, per Elon Musk's comments last night. So we just had the earnings call last night, and Elon Musk had a lot to say about the next generation Tesla. It's going to be the platform beneath the Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla Model Y. Of course, we've seen plenty of renderings from people of what they think it's going to look like, and it's probably going to be a 5-door with a hatchback, a smaller version of the Model 3, but with that hatchback open on the back. During Battery Day a couple years ago, Elon Musk did say that this car was going to be the $25,000 Tesla, and it was going to have the hardware required for full self-driving. So there's a lot on the line for this car. Now, it's been quiet for some time now on this car because of a lot of conditions. The inflationary conditions that we're in right now have put a lot of focus on the existing cars that are being produced today. In addition, we have the Cybertruck, which has consumed all of the engineering resources over at Tesla. And now, as of last night, Elon Musk did say that the engineering work on the Cybertruck is officially done, and we have been seeing equipment arriving at Giga Austin, and we've also got some equipment on its way to Giga Austin right now that will be used in production of the Cybertruck. So as they start to pivot to production of the Cybertruck, they now have the engineering resources required where they can start focusing once again on that $25,000 Tesla. So this Model 2, Model Q, whatever you want to call it, it sounds like it's finally going to start getting the attention it needs. And as we start to see the economy start to level out, potentially a recession on the horizon. I am not an economist, but there's a lot of things changing now where Tesla is going to start focusing on that. And unfortunately, affordability has been a major issue over at Tesla, and these cars have gone up substantially in price. That $25,000 Tesla is going to be a game changer for the organization. Elon Musk does believe it is going to be higher volume than the entire Tesla business today, all products that they produce. And I think he's probably right. If they truly do come with a $25,000 Tesla, and it does have the same capabilities as the Model 3, the Model Y, the Model S, the Model X, it's going to be a no-brainer for a lot of people. Really quick though, if you do enjoy this content and you want to see more of it, be sure to click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And now I want to pivot over to the tax credits. As you know, the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed does include up to $7,500 tax credits for qualified cars. Now, the biggest change that happened with that is these tax credits are only going to apply to cars that are assembled in North America. There's also a battery requirement where those batteries must be assembled here in North America as well. Now, Elon Musk did say last night, surprisingly, that they are going full speed, pedal to the metal, quote unquote, on getting these batteries produced here domestically, not just in North America, but vertically integrated, meaning within Tesla's four walls. As Elon Musk said, they are focused on getting 1,000 gigawatt hour per year production of batteries here domestically within Tesla's walls. This is a huge, important piece, and that clarification is much needed because there's been a lot of speculation about where are these batteries coming from. Of course, the standard range Model 3, those batteries come from cattle, which is over in China today, which means those LFP batteries mean that the Model 3 standard range does not qualify. What's going on, everybody? BTG here, and I am once again partnering with Charity Stars. This time, Charity Stars is giving away a brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance. With 0 to 60 of 3.1 seconds, you're guaranteed to throw yourself and your passengers back in their seat with one of the fastest cars made today under $65,000. So if you want a chance to get a Performance Model 3, make sure to visit www.charitystars.com/BTG. And once you get there, be sure to enter code BTG to get your 500 free entries with your donation. This time, Charity Stars is partnering with Guardian Group, which is a group that prevents and disrupts sex trafficking of women and children. So this is a great opportunity to potentially win a Tesla Model 3 Performance and contribute to a good cause. So don't forget to visit charitystars.com/BTG using code BTG for your 500 bonus entries. But the other batteries that Tesla does produce do qualify. So the Model Y may qualify, but the raw materials that go into those batteries, where are those coming from? So there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of speculation about where all these batteries are coming from and how this will impact qualification of Teslas for these tax credits of up to $7,500. Now, if Tesla does deliver on what they're quote unquote pedal to the metal working towards, that means the standard range Model 3 would definitely qualify then for that $7,500 tax credit. It's assembled here in North America, and if the batteries can be proven to be made here in North America, we've got a green light. Now, the long range Model 3 is a bit of a wild card because it was pulled off the menu not that long ago. You cannot order that car today. However, you can still see that the Model 3 long range is an option, but you can only see limited current and upcoming inventory, meaning Tesla is just producing them as they see fit and delivering them to locations across the US, across North America. That is the only way to get a long range Model 3 today. The last price we had on the Model 3 long range was $57,990, which means it is $3,000 too expensive to qualify for those $7,500 tax credits. So even if it does qualify for being domestic and the batteries qualify, it is too expensive per the IRA rules. So could we see a price change in the long-range Model 3 as well? I think that there's a very good chance that we could see the long-range drop in price by $3,000 at the beginning of next year, and it would start to be able to be ordered directly from Tesla once again. So if it does drop $3,000, then it would hit that $54,990, meaning that car then qualifies for the cap of $55,000 for sedans to be able to qualify for that $7,500 tax credit. Of course, the long-range Model 3 went up $12,000 since February of 2021. So seeing a $3,000 reduction, I think is possible, and I think it is something that Tesla is going to have to do in order to capture all of these tax credits and continue to dominate in market share domestically here in North America. On the Model Y side, that would also mean all the Model Ys would qualify. The Performance Model 3, however, that is not going to qualify. It's just too expensive. At $62,990, it is not anywhere close to that $55,000 price point, so I don't see that changing. Over on the Model Y, we have the long range and the Performance. They're both considered an SUV per the EPA, so those cars will have an $80,000 cap. So the Model Y long range and the Performance would both qualify, and again, assuming Tesla does deliver on getting these batteries compliant, those cars are going to get that $7,500 tax credit as well, which is great news. I do want to qualify on previous videos though. It does appear that these $7,500 tax credits are not refundable like I had reported previously. In an earlier version of the bill, these were considered refundable credits, but that language has changed so many times, and unfortunately I have misreported that those are refundable. So you do have to have up to $7,500 in tax liability to collect that $7,500. And don't worry, I'll continue to reinforce this point. My apologies for the mistake. I do not believe that that is a refundable credit. So if you do not have income, you are not going to be able to qualify for those tax credits because you don't have tax liability. Now, looking at the pricing at Tesla, here's what I think we're looking at. The standard range Model 3 I do not think is going to change, but with that $7,500 tax credit, you'd be looking at $39,490, which is a fantastic price for the standard range Model 3. Over on the long range, we would then see a reduction to $54,990 in my opinion. Then you would be able to take $7,500 off, bringing you to $47,490, which is a much more digestible price for a long range Model 3. On the performance, no changes there, no tax credits, so still $62,990. Over on the Model Y, again, assuming we hit these targets, I don't see a price change coming, but $7,500 off would give you $58,490 for the long range and $62,490 for the performance, meaning the performance Model Y would be $500 less at the end of the day than a performance Model 3. Now, the 0 to 60 is not as fast, but it is very fast. So about 0.4 of a second slower, but $500 less, a lot more car for the money. So if you are looking for that additional space, the performance Model Y may be an awesome value come 2023. Now, looking at all these prices, there's no question there's an affordability issue here. And even though Tesla is now starting to focus once again on that $25,000 Tesla, there's still today quite a gap until that car comes online. So affordability continues to be an issue. However, this week on Tesla, as pointed out by several sources, there were a load of 2019 used Teslas loaded on Tesla's existing inventory that had full self-driving and were listed for an incredible deal. So earlier this week, we saw a ton of 2019 standard range Model 3s listed on Tesla's website for $35,000 to $36,000. But the crazy thing is, these did include full self-driving on most of these. So for about $35,000 or $36,000, you got a Model 3 standard range with full self-driving. And given the fact that full self-driving now costs $15,000, you could say those used Model 3s are about 20 grand plus full self-driving, which is a crazy deal. Even at $35,000, that is a great deal. A lot of these cars do not have a ton of miles. They're still under warranty, and these represent some pretty awesome deals. As a matter of fact, the deals were so good that today, they're all gone. I cannot find a single used Model 3 standard range that was listed in that price range. And there were a lot of them. So enough people were brought attention to this and saw the value themselves and pulled the trigger. But not to worry, because now we're starting to see a load of 2019 long range Model 3s that also have full self-driving on Tesla's existing inventory for used cars. These cars also have full self-driving, and they're about $5,000 more than the standard range, which still represents an amazing value. So about $39,000 to $43,000, depending on which one. It seems limited inventory. Those are getting scooped up now as well. So this may be your chance to get into a Tesla for a much more affordable price. Plus, you'll have the benefit of having full self-driving, about $40,000, and again, not a ton of miles. So in about 3 days, those standard ranges, all of them, they're gone. 3 days is all it took to wipe out the used inventory at Tesla. That was about 35. So it's probably going to take a few more days to sell all the long ranges just because it's about $5,000 more. But great deals to be had on Tesla's website for some used Model 3s. To highlight how much of a deal this is, let's look at what it would cost brand new. So a standard range Model 3 with full self-driving would be $61,990. So 62 grand minus 36 grand, that's $26,000 less for a used one with 20 to 40,000 miles still under warranty. Now the long range, on the other hand, at $72,990 with full self-driving, you'd be looking at a savings of $30,000 compared to new. So that's quite a bit of savings. These are actually really good deals out there. And just to put some more reference to that, we sold our standard range Model 3 to upgrade to this long range, and I sold it for more without full self-driving. Without that, for way more than what these are selling for directly from Tesla. So these are some really good deals. So for those of you who continue to watch Teslas become farther and farther out of reach because price increases, this may be your chance to swoop in and get a Tesla, a really good Tesla, for a reasonable price. So as you can see, there's a lot of updates happening at Tesla. Exciting times ahead. I really do hope this $25,000 Tesla does come online sooner than later, and we start to see what that's going to look like very soon. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearded Tesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.